Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC. Where are you vulnerable? You, the individuals, team, or whoever is listening to this. Where are you vulnerable? From a psychological standpoint, in regards to your self esteem, your relationships, your finances, your reputation, your company, your organization. Where are you vulnerable? Where is there chinks in the armor? If I wanted to plan a vendetta against you and get anything I could use to destroy you, your self-esteem, your reputation, your finances, your career, could I do it? Or would you be untouchable? Because the goal ultimately in life is to be untouchable, to give nobody no legitimate way and avenue of destroying you. Do you have that? Or does somebody hold the wild card to be able to destroy you? Now, a lot of people never explore this, right? People who are in my position inevitably have to, because in my case, we are online personalities, we have some sort of reputation, and we know that there's people out there who have decided to dedicate themselves to try to destroy us, right? So whether we want to engage in this or not, we have to address it to a certain extent, because some people, again, will do anything and everything to try to harm your reputation or your business, so on and so forth. Like, you guys, if you haven't heard the stories of, I would get listings, and some of my local haters where I used to live would literally write letters, like hate mail, saying, oh, I'm a guy who does sales techniques and I'm a manipulator and this and that. And they would send that to my actual listings, the owners of the homes, trying to get them to cancel on me and all that stuff. It's pretty sad, right? So again, would I have to deal with that had I not had an online reputation? Probably not. But everybody deals with this to a certain degree, because at some point, someone or something may try to go against you. They'll suddenly not like you if it's an individual and try to plot against you, right? So from the standpoint of playing chess in the game of life while everybody else plays checkers, this is a very important subject. So as I brought up these questions in the beginning, where are you vulnerable? Ask yourself, where are you vulnerable, right? If you're out putting out lies, you're vulnerable, right? If you've brought somebody in close to your life who's really not that trustworthy, or you're not sure yet, and you're divulging private information that they could use against you, and you haven't verified that person yet, you could potentially be in big trouble, right? This is another reason, just as a general rule of thumb, when I'm around people, if I hear them gossip about other people and start to do that, I stop them and say, no, I'm not going to be held liable for being present here. If you're going to talk shit about that person, put them on the phone or make sure they're present. Do not even feel comfortable ever talking bad about anybody around me. What makes you comfortable to do that? You might do it around other people, but do not do it around me. For this very reason, I never want that to be used against me, nor do I encourage that type of behavior of talking behind somebody's back, because I don't. That goes against my code. You say it to their fucking face, or you call them and you tell them directly. You don't talk behind their back. But that situation in this context of this podcast could be used against you, because they could say, were you there when so-and-so was talking shit? And you're going to have to say yes. Otherwise, you're lying. So where are you vulnerable? Because there might be people that you've given intimate secrets to that you really shouldn't have. Now, again, at some point, we can always draw the conclusion that we might be betrayed, because trust will come up with this. Well, we can't trust anybody. Well, yeah, if you want to go to the extreme, sure. However, in order to trust and begin to trust somebody, you need to accept the opposite side of the coin, which means at some point you're going to be betrayed. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have trust without betrayal. Neither one would exist. We live in a universe of dualities, right? So you have to accept that. However, within that context and framework, we need to be smart, so we minimize the potential of betrayal or somebody using something against us. Now, again, in most cases like that, it could be people smearing your reputation, lying, right, and saying deceptive things. That's different, right? I'm talking about, you would tell somebody that you're cheating or you're lying or you're stealing when you're actually doing something wrong, and then they expose you. That's stupid, right? Number one, for telling them, but number two, because you're actually doing that and you shouldn't do it. That would be an example of this. So take a look. Again, if I was your enemy, if I was sworn to say, I'm going to go after blank, whoever's listening to this, and I'm going to figure out and find a hole and I'm going to destroy you, whether that's legal, to ruin your reputation from your past, what could I do or use? Right? Now, if you're paying attention to this, you would realize that a lot of these teachings I've given you over the years protects you against this, because you take that sword and you turn it into a shield. Because let's say with self-esteem that you were having issues with, and there's something about your past or something presently that you don't like about yourself that you don't want people to know and you don't want the world to be informed of. That would destroy your confidence and your reputation and maybe put you into depression. But if you admit your faults and, hey, I'm not good at this, or I'm not proud of how I look and this and that, and you're willing to wear those things on your sleeve, you take that weapon away from them. That's a teaching I gave you years and years and years ago that could be applied to this situation. Again, if you've been studious, paying attention, taking notes, and this is the key, applying. I've always told you to be honest and transparent. Ask yourself right now. You don't have to answer me or out loud to anybody, but to yourself. Have you been forthcoming? Are you lying about your business? Are you lying about your personal matters? Are you lying about your success? Why? Number one, that reflects poorly upon you. Why are you lying? Something is wrong if you're lying. Right? If you're a realtor listening to me and you sold 1 home this year, but you're telling people you sold 5, why? Who cares? Just say you sold 1. And then work to sell 5 and 10 and 15 and 20. It's that simple. Same thing with if you're happy. If you're not happy, admit it. Stop lying to people. If you don't have a relationship right now, stop lying to people. If you're having trouble with the opposite sex, admit it. Fix it. Work on it. Stop trying to hide it and lie to people. But this has to be addressed. Again, I'm not saying this as like a super, ominous warning. No. This is just to make sure that you're playing chess properly in the game of life and that you protect yourself. Because I've been bashed. I've been, attacked. I've had people try to come after my businesses, my name, or reputation. None of it has been successful. I've had one incident in the last 10 years where it was a minor inconvenience, but I said, well played, Mr. Hater or whoever it was, because you found that small chink in my armor. Good for you. And man, it was the most bullshit of bullshit technicalities, but hey, kudos to them, because I would thank that person for exposing a small little problem that I had that, again, didn't ruin me, didn't really cause more than a ripple in the pond, but it showed me, hey, you need to tighten this up a little bit. Cool. Perfect. No problem. Again, even in that case, I wasn't cheating, I wasn't lying, so the damage, if any, was very, 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 very minimal. Again, a minor inconvenience. But again, you need situations like that to let you know that you're not untouchable if you think you are. But number two, you always need to be prepared. It's the same reason, right? I just did a lecture for my tier 2 coaching members, right, that are doing really well. And one of the points that I said is, with your businesses in your name, and you in general, you need to create a legal, not only a tax shelter, but a legal shelter. Protect yourself legally. So if I go after you, can I take you for everything? Or are you set up in a way that I can't? Because if not, you're screwed. Somebody comes after you, they could take everything away from you in a heartbeat. And you're left out on the street thinking, what the hell just happened? Again, this is more of a grown-up, mature, thing we need to talk about. And you guys might be at a level where you're not even thinking about this. Good. Because even in my days like that, I knew this was on the horizon. So as you're building and doing your thing, you want to make sure that these things are in place. But again, this has been more from the angle of business and that kind of stuff, right? But let's take a look at it from a personal standpoint. Let's say your self-esteem and your self-confidence isn't in check, right? This is why you tirelessly need to work on these things and better yourself. So me or someone else cannot take your pride from you and make you depressed and crush you emotionally. This has been one of the main reasons, among many others, that people come to me to learn from me closely, is that internally, I've done that for myself, and I'm helping other people do it. Now you are a force to be reckoned with, but it has to become a priority to you, and you need to do this and work on this every single day. Accept what you cannot change, what you can change. You work tirelessly every single day. to become that force to be reckoned with, that superhero of your story. And you work at it meticulously, because I know mentally you're not going to break me, dude. Good luck. Try, please. If you want to challenge me, try. This is why I've been unstoppable in literally every endeavor I've done. They try to censor me, didn't work, right? Well, yeah, they censored me, but businesses is still booming. Everything is still growing. The only thing that's been ill affected the last couple of years is the amount of engagement and views I get on YouTube and Instagram, but they've deleted my accounts and censored them. I have no control over that, right? But how come every other metric has gone up when based on that, they shouldn't have? You see what I'm saying here? But to the average person, oh man, what I went through, it would just mentally destroy them. Even these issues I have with haters and all that, man, I've laughed all the way to the bank. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more fulfilled than I've ever been, right? Ask the people around me too if you don't believe me. Right? No addictions, very good control of my diet and my lifestyle, right? Where I don't feel like I'm denying myself. I mean, I've checked off a lot of boxes that I think most people on this planet either don't care to check off because they think it's not under their control, or they don't have the capacity to do it because of this personal development, true and genuine personal development, not the bullshit cliche stuff. And I take pride in that. I like that. Because now when I'm faced with these types of situations, I take it with a smile on my face and it's no big deal. You know, I've had challenges come up too. Recently, I wanted to sell one of my other cars, and over the Christmas holiday weekend, it was broken into. No big deal. I'm handling it now. I don't care. Am I freaking out? Oh my God. Who cares, dude? Who cares? Not a big deal. Minor damage, probably cost me a couple $100 to fix. No big deal. 10 years ago, would have freaked out, would have been upset, would have been hunting them down, want to beat them up, right? Different mindset, different person. So that would have exposed a chink in my armor if I had one, mentally and emotionally. But it didn't. It further proved with that test that I'm good. But you really need to take stock of your life, whether it's personal stuff, internal stuff, financial stuff, business stuff, career stuff, relationship and communication stuff. Is there chinks in your armor? If you become solely 1000% dependent on your partner for emotional support, what are you going to do if tomorrow they decide to leave? You will shatter and break into a million fucking pieces. Man, I have incredible relationships, whether they're intimate, whether they're friendship level, business level. But man, if you take them all away, I'm good. I'm not a half and another person's a half. I'm a whole by myself. Will I be upset those relationships are over? Of course, I'm human. But I will not break, is what I'm saying. And this has happened to me many, many times throughout my life. Not going to break, dude. Getting smarter, getting better, getting more capable, having more understanding, becoming more mature with my wisdom and life. That's what this is about. But I'm also strategically, remember, I'm playing chess. Where is the chink in the armor? If I find myself in those situations like, man, like I'm almost becoming addicted to this person. Okay, I need to take stock and say, okay, let me take a step back. Let me figure these things out. Right? Or I'm becoming addicted to playing the game or gambling or whatever it is. Addiction is addiction. Well, you need to address it. Many of us have things that we have classified as not addictions, but they are. You're just denying reality. Many of you are addicted to bad food, mindless entertainment, the opposite sex, pornography, whatever it is. Validation, attention on social media. I mean, it could be a million different things. But acknowledge it. Be real with yourself and fix it. That's the chink in the armor you need to finally admit. You don't have to admit it to the world and call me and announce it on Facebook, but admit it to yourself and do something about it. God, that's the beauty of this journey, is that type of stuff that nobody knows until later when you tell the story. Kudos to you. Those are the people I want around me. Those are the people I want as students. Those are the people I want working with me and next to me and for me and with me. Those are the unsung heroes of today's world. The people who are willing to do that and face their own bullshit and admit it and fix it and then live to tell the tale about it, right? Over the campfire, right? That's what I'm talking about. Be those individuals, not the ones from, today's world that are sad and pathetic and complain, oh, life isn't fair and all this other nonsense. We got to grow up and build past that, because that's a chink in your armor right there. Where's the chink? Is it mental for you? Is it financial? I mean, we all have chinks in the armor, right? That we got to fix. Has someone recently exposed a chink in your armor that you should thank them for instead of being upset and wanting to kill them? Like the situation I had with a troll or a hater. Kudos to them, man. I'm not mad at them. That's their job. They're the hater. Do what you do. They found a small little technicality. Cool. Fixed immediately. Not a problem. Minor inconvenience. Now, good luck, because it took you a decade to find that one. Let's see what you can come up with in 10 more years. So I've done a pretty damn good job with this, right? And that was something external to me. It wasn't internal. It wasn't my character. It wasn't anything I had said. It was something outside. Because you're not going to catch me in a lie or other stuff like that, because it doesn't exist. Can I say the same for you? And what are you doing actively? When this podcast is over here in a few minutes, what you do about this, how much effort and thought you put into this and what you do about it says a lot. Because if you're the type that's going to listen to this and not do anything, I don't want you to listen to my podcast anymore. Because then this speech is falling upon deaf ears or people who are not willing to do something about it. I know you're capable. I'm not going to say you're not capable. Every single one of you listening to my podcast is capable of every single fucking thing I've ever done, accomplished. Maybe not athletically, but in regards to business, your intelligence, developing yourself, 100% you can do it. 1000% you can do it. But if you're not willing to do it, right, then what's the point? What's the point of listening to this if you're not going to do anything about it? So there has to be, at least after this, commit one action that I'm going to take. I'm going to look into this area of my life and see where there's a chink in the armor. At least do that. At least give yourself that. Because the first one that I realized when I got into the real estate industry 10 years ago and decided to fly the flag of entrepreneurship is, man, internally, I am a mess. And I need to better myself and fix myself and improve myself and become a better version of me. Period. Point blank. It starts there and it ends there. And there's going to be other things too. But man, that is at the top of the list. Let's handle it. And the journey has gone from there. Then it's business, reputation, online stuff, aspirations, goals, right? Then I'm developing. Am I developing the right way? And all that stuff continue to come. But man, this is at the forefront of my mind all the time. And I would warn people, I'm growing to this amount online. I built up this big of a business. Hey, I'm just letting you guys know, probably within a year or two, I'm going to start getting attacked online. What happened? Exactly what I said. But by then, I'd already prepared. Good luck. Good luck. Unless you want to, again, defamation, right? Lying, not a problem. I don't have to address that because that's all bullshit. But you can't actually take something from me or ruin my business or me or anything else, because there's nothing solid or truthful that you can say that counteracts what I've done or who I am. You want to attack me internally and my character, good luck. Back then, sure. Now, forget it. Fortress, baby. But I've put myself in this position and you can do the same. But this has to become a priority to you. Could I, through a conversation, start picking you apart and making you feel bad about yourself? Think about that. You would allow me, an outside person, to make you feel bad about yourself. That's a chink in your armor. I could have the whole world at my doorstep talking shit to me. I will laugh and smile and say, please give me more. And then I'll sleep like a baby. Now, you might not be able to do that yet, like I couldn't years ago, but it's something that needs to become of utmost importance to you, because then you walk through life a little bit differently. And then you're able to see things that I see and achieve things that I achieve because you become different. Different wins in your thought process, in your actions, and what you do, how you view yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you interact with other people. That's what wins. Okay. So that's it for this one, guys. I appreciate you watching. Leave us a review if you haven't yet already, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.